We've identified a new asbestos-related disease, and we're figuring out ways to avoid it.
Her story lives on in each and every one of you.
Firefighters that have lost their lives, that have really put everything on the line.
So for those of you who I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, I'm Linda Reinstein, the co-founder of the Asbestos Disease Awareness Organization. We are delighted to have you join us today for our 11th annual Asbestos Awareness Conference. Well, Doug Larkin and I could have never imagined 11 years ago that we'd be sitting here with all of you today, connected with people around the world, advancing asbestos awareness in hopes to one day truly eliminate exposure to prevent these diseases. So the photograph on the screen really sets the tempo for this weekend's conference. Nearly 50 of us boarded an open-air trolley to tour our nation's monuments and really spend time together. And thanks to Herman Hamilton for organizing this, we had an amazing time, and of course to Lisa Crandall, who was our sponsor of this wonderful family event. Last night, thanks to the Simmons, Henley, and Conroy firm, we all gathered for a private speakers, honoree, and volunteer dinner. It's really wonderful when we get together and have those moments where we can really connect and share. So as we get started this morning, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Larkin and Reinstein families. We started 11 years ago, and we really had a mission and a vision to end what was ravaging through our loved one's body. Bill Shields, Doug's father-in-law, and my husband, Alan Reinstein, had been diagnosed with mesothelioma. Doug and I knew that we needed to blend education, advocacy, and community so we could truly prevent these diseases that claimed the lives of so many Americans. I'm proud to say that we've become the largest independent volunteer organization dedicated to preventing asbestos-caused diseases. We're joined together today by people around the world. We have more than 10 countries coming together, and there's even more folks watching this live streaming thanks to technology, which of course we love when the global conversation continues. I used to think that when someone was on their phone that was actually rude, but I actually encourage all of you, take out your phone and let's get social right now. Pull out your phone and start tweeting. And use the hashtag ADAO when you do message, whether it's on Facebook, LinkedIn, or of course Twitter. So for those of you who don't have the app on your phone, ADAO actually made it really easy for you to stay connected with us this entire weekend. There's a mobile app that you can download for free right from the Apple iTunes store, and you can actually follow along with the biographies, the conference programs, the different events. So I urge and encourage you to download that app, and let's enhance technology throughout the weekend. Well, thanks to so many of you, we're able to make change happen. And just a few days ago, we actually had the U.S. Surgeon General issue the 4th statement for Asbestos Awareness Week. And to coincide with that, the Senate unanimously passed the 11th Asbestos Awareness Week resolution. So we're about to start our full program, but I really want to acknowledge with regrets 4 people that are unable to be here with us this morning. And they're really important people to the Asbestos Disease Awareness Organization. Troy Atkinson, Herman Hamilton, Dr. Richard Lemon, and of course Lou Williams. All 4 are unable to join us today, but I know they're with us in spirit, and they give so much time and help to ADAO throughout the years that I'd like you all just to remember those names so you can appreciate the hard work that they do for ADAO. Now, as I write in most of the blogs, I really believe that together change is possible. And we can see here that 9 countries have come together today. Australia, Brazil, Finland, Germany, Mexico, the Netherlands, Pakistan, United Kingdom, and the United States. Phew, you almost want to have your passport stamped when you read this list. But what this means is we're able to connect and share with people around the world. Well, who knew that 11 years ago we would be standing in Washington, D.C. at the National Press Club for our very first Asbestos Awareness Conference? Well, it wasn't really a conference, it was more of a press conference. And you can see in this photograph my daughter Emily in red, Marilyn Amento and her 2 lovely children, Doug Larkin, Richard Lemon, Barry Castleman, so many familiar faces that have supported our work for the past 11 years. Well, we all roll up our sleeves at ADAO working from a home office, and we prepared this infographic. I think it's very important that you see what we've been able to accomplish thanks to many people that are here today. We've had 11 conferences, and that alone is amazing. But even more, every presentation is going to be videotaped, which gives us over 150,000 hours of YouTube time for viewing these great presentations. Over the course of these years, 1,000 people have come together. We've probably had about 300 speakers, nearly 70 honorees. It takes about 100 volunteers during these past years to put on these conferences, and even more. So with big gratitude, I want to say thank you to all of you who've made this possible. But there's somebody we really need to thank this morning. It's going to be Jordan Zivan, who serves as our ADAO national spokesperson. Now, Jordan could have run away fast when his father, Warren Zivan, was diagnosed with mesothelioma. But instead, Jordan rolled up his sleeve and knew that he too could make a difference. His father passed away in 2003 from, again, a preventable cancer. But Jordan has remained a light and light for ADAO. He comes to Washington, he testifies, he presents, and he is a remarkable person. And the great thing for all of you is he's going to actually be performing tonight at our awards dinner. And Barbara McQueen serves as a celebrity board chairperson. And Barbie, too, has been able to join our fight. Many of you have purchased her book. She shares her story willingly, online and in Congress as well. Sadly, Steve McQueen died when he was 50. He was actually exposed in the Navy, which is even more sad to think that our government didn't protect our veterans and hardworking Americans as they should have. Well, to bring this information alive, we have two amazing keynote speakers. Jorma Reinstein from Finland is going to delight and entertain and educate you today with his keynote speech. And on Sunday, my dear friend Sue Vento will give the keynote speech at our Unity and Remembrance brunch. She is the widow of the late Congressman Bruce Vento, and her fight has continued. Even though Bruce lost his battle, her fight continues in Washington and throughout the nation. Well, look at this amazing list of speakers. It is truly the who's around the world. The experts have come together, asbestos victims, labor leaders. It's an amazing conference. In addition to our academic conference, our awards dinner is really terrific. And we get to recognize and honor those who make our work possible and those who go above and beyond, not just doing the ordinary, but doing the extraordinary. Ellen Patton will receive the Alan Reinstein Award, Jorma Reinstein, the Dr. Irving Selikoff Lifetime Achievement Award. The International Mesothelioma Interest Group, Ahmed, will receive the Tribute of Hope. The Brazilian Labor Public Ministry will receive the Tribute of Inspiration for their incredible work for protecting labor. The American Public Health Association will receive the Tribute of Unity. It's the largest public health organization in the United States, and it's been around for nearly 150 years. And we will acknowledge Congressman Bruce Vento again tonight, as Sue Vento unfortunately was unable to join us in 2014. And Troy Atkinson, we're going to miss you because you'll be receiving the 2015 Warren Zevon Keep Me in Your Heart Award tonight. And unfortunately, you can't be with us in person, but you can bet you'll be in our hearts, and we'll show a video of you. On this slide, you can see some amazing people, individuals and corporations that have come together to help make our work possible. And I certainly want to acknowledge Lisa Crandall, who's our diamond donor, the Von St. James family, Julie Gunlock family, Jill Cagle, Bud Vaughn, the Amento family, and Yvonne Hall for all making those individual donations that help our work. And in addition, there are firm sponsors. And it's very important for you to understand that as an independent organization, we are the voice of asbestos victims within a congressional hearing, possibly with the United Nations or with the media. ADAO does not make any legal referrals. These firms willingly give to ADAO because they believe in the work that we do. We are the only group working on protecting public health, our environment, and of course, asbestos victims' civil rights. I want to first acknowledge the platinum sponsors, the Motley Rice firm, as well as Simmons, Hanley, and Conroy, for stepping up to the plate and being our highest level sponsors for our conference. In addition to Motley Rice and Simmons, Hanley, Conroy, Simon, Greenstone, Panettiere, and Bartlett are our gold sponsors. They are also amazing. At the second tier, they too believe in what we do and how we do it. And of course, we'd like to thank our silver sponsor, Early, Lucarelli, Sweeney, and Meisenhoughton for being a silver sponsor, and joining the other 3 for enabling ADAO to continue our work, not just for this conference, but throughout the year. And throughout the weekend, some of our events actually give us the opportunity to recognize some of our high-level sponsors. And last night we had our speaker honoree and ADAO volunteer dinner that was sponsored by the Simmons, Hanley, and Conroy firm. And on Sunday, our Unity and Remembrance brunch will be sponsored by Motley Rice. Special thanks to Zeal TV for coming together and doing this amazing taping. They also allow us to live stream around the world. And our new partner, which has been absolutely terrific, the McConey Agency. I had the pleasure of meeting Sarah McConey in Frankfurt when I was presenting at the United Nations conference. And Sarah and I just connected. She runs a PR agency specializing in health and safety. She loved what ADAO is doing, and thanks to Sarah, we're going to be raising awareness even more during Global Asbestos Awareness Week. With her help, she sent out press releases to over 42 countries, which has enabled us to connect and share even more broadly to use that week to raise awareness and obviously, hopefully shape policy, but most importantly, to prevent exposure. And for those of you who've already bought your ticket, that's terrific. You'll be joining us for the awards and recognition dinner tonight. And if you haven't, there's always space for you. You're part of our family. Please see Ellen Costa in the back of the room, and she would certainly make that ticket happen for you. Well, tomorrow is a very special day, and that's the way we close our program. It's our Unity and Remembrance brunch. And yes, it sounds somber and sad, and at times it is. We all share tears. But most importantly, we gather. We renew. We inspire each other. We light a candle to strengthen our message. None of us are running away from the light. We stand together in unity. We know that we can make a difference. And it's a real pleasure for us to do the brunch because we actually come together in a smaller group so that we can truly be intimate and share our feelings. So if you'd like to join us, please do so. And in addition to this great academic program, there's actually artwork for sale. You can buy a copy of Anne Samuelson's piece of art that she had designed that says Justice Has No Timeline. And clearly, we would all agree that justice clearly doesn't have a timeline. As Martin Luther King said, it's always time to do the right thing. And in addition to Anne's poster, we have an amazing exhibition outside. And ADAO is proud to be the sponsor of Earl Daughter's Badges of Memorial Tribute to Asbestos Workers. And you can purchase this poster, which Earl will also sign for you. Earl's going to speak later on in the day about the badges he's collected, how these badges are connected to companies that knew they were exposing people to asbestos, and actually he'll bring some historical pictures together so that you can really feel and see the full spectrum of this man-made disaster. I'm looking forward to your presentation too, Earl. Before we begin the academic program today, I want to recognize the many volunteers who have worked for nearly 9 months on this conference. Herman Hamilton at Mesa Capital Tours, but I have to tell you, Herman does it all. Kim did communications. Ellen Costa, you're going to see working the entire weekend event. My personal friend gives of her vacation time to come here because she believes so much in what ADAO does. Jessica Mattmuller, wife of Mike, who's a patient, has done some amazing graphics. Of course, we have our interns, Emily Reinstein and Jasmine Usal, who are going to be working the event. Jordan Zevon will perform today. Tony Rich, you'll see with the camera, so make sure you smile into his lens. He'll be our event photographer, again, a volunteer. My dear friend Celeste Montfortin has been the speaker liaison. She's helped to coordinate and wrangle our speakers to make sure we have PowerPoints and all of the sessions come together. Of course, Ellen Tunkeltrot is going to be the MC and light the candles at our Sunday brunch. If you notice in your program, that beautiful 100-page program, there are tributes scattered throughout. Marilyn Aminto and Anne Samuelson actually pulled together their time, and they helped the asbestos victims to put in tribute to remember their loved ones or to honor someone who's enduring and fighting. And lastly, Sue Ann Taylor and her Zeal TV crew, for I know what they're going to do is another amazing job videotaping our conference. So let's get started straight away. If you have any questions, please make sure you ask me. Count on our family to make this conference the most memorable and inspirational conference you've ever attended. And I'm delighted that you're all here today. So without further ado, let's get started.